Hello and welcome to Steve's Backyard Bonsai. As you can probably hear, it's pouring. I feel lucky that it's raining and not snowing because the temperature had been hovering around freezing, although it had warmed up in preparation of this rain. Today, I thought it would be a good day to get out of the house and do a review that I've been wanting to do. This is on bonsai training pots, plastic bonsai training pots that are of an unusual design, and I want to show them to you because I think they have merit. Here's the bonsai training pot. I think all beginners and just people dabbling in bonsai have become familiar with. It's cheap plastic. More recently, they did a mesh design at the bottom. It used to be, well, I don't remember what it used to be. It used to be 2 large holes, I think. And this is what we all have worked with. I am not in a financial position to be able to splurge on bonsai pots, but I would like something, most of my trees are in training. I would like something nice to put them in while they're in training. And these are 3D printed plastic pots of a superior quality. The company is called Treeigami, Treeigami. They go by treeigami.com. They're out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And I hope you're hearing me over this rain. This is the same design as this pot, only this is an 8-inch, this is a 6-inch. They come as small as 3-inch pots, and they're lovely. This is the Lotus design. Then this is their forest tray. This is the 10-inch forest tray. I'm not sure exactly how far it goes up, but if you go to treeigami.com, all the sizes and prices are there. All of these pots are shown in the catalog as starting from $1. So this is the 6-inch pot. I think it was $3. The 3-inch pot that starts this series out was $1. And it goes up from there. This is their fancy design. And I want to look at the bottom for a second. On all of them, it's the same. Some have 2 outlets. Most of them just have 1 outlet on the side. But this entire bottom is mesh. I think that might be great, but I'm going to test it out. So my review starts today on the quality of the 3D printed pots. There are some manufacturing issues that they probably need to address, and that is cleaning up wherever it stops and starts again. And I'll show you a more stark example of that. I am not familiar with the process at all, except that I've seen it operate. I don't know its limitations, but this seems a little rough. However, you don't even notice it from its intended design. And this is a lovely pot. It has some weight, but not too heavy. It is very sturdy, and this is from their fancy series. This was a gift, as was this 7-inch shallow pot. They included these because these were new in the series, and I had indicated I wanted to do a review. Here's another color, a tan color. This is an 8-inch, and I only bought 1 of these, I think. I'm not showing everything I bought because some of them are dupes. These are their little deeper oval pots. This is a 7-inch. And here it is in that other color. And the gray, I think, is quite nice. These pots have a sheen to them. You can see that it's 3D printed. I'm very interested to try this mesh out. If it is too much, I can close the bottom of this with something non-permeable and put a more traditional round hole in the center. This pot has 1 outlet point, which should be fine. I keep them on a wooden bench, and even if it were on something solid the whole way, it would have room to drain out. The other way to keep these would be on something mesh-like or on a bed of sand. If you want something training and you want the roots to stay moist, they could grow right through. So I'm thinking willow cuttings, that might be great in these pots. It is so nasty today. I think I'm going to stay in the greenhouse and pot up a couple of my oddball trees that I haven't known what to do with, that are in pots and they're small. Yeah, I'm gonna do that today. All right, so my initial review is excellent, good quality. We're gonna test these for how they stand up to UV light. These are brown, tan, gray. I believe they have black, but I can't tell if these are brown or black. Maybe you can see that better than me. I only ordered brown. And I think it's pretty cool. Let me know what you think in the comments. And I will post the information for Treeigami.com in the description. I may even flash it for you to read right off the screen. Oh, and they all have their chop on the inside. These are bonsai shoes. Very clever. I think you ought to patent these right away. All right, so here's the lineup. I have this Japanese holly that I'm going to put in this little lotus-shaped size 6. Treeigami's bonsai shoes. That was a cutting off of a bush that died at my daughter and son-in-law's place. I grabbed the cutting before it met its demise. And in the same size pot, I'm going to do this little boxwood. And these are 2 eastern red cedars. They just started growing on my lawn. I've had them in little training pots. I'm going to see if I can reduce the roots enough to put it in this shallow oval. I will. I have a few more sitting over there if I want to make a little forest out of it. These clumps have fused. So I believe I did that on purpose. I don't recall any fusion project. I just recall planting them together. Those I got to wear gloves for because they can be really brutal. All right, I'm going to get started and I'll give you shots along the way. So this one's getting its shoes, its bonsai shoes for the first time. Once again, I had custody of a tree that my son-in-law pulled out. It was in pretty bad shape. I was either going to save it or it would die. Well, it did the latter, but I got this cutting before it was completely a goner. It's doing okay. You want it leaning. And lest we forget, this is also a test of this pot. So right away, I just want to show you with my normal mix, that's all that came out the bottom. So I'm sure there'll be a little bit more in the future, but you can't say it's not free draining. put a stone on there. A little bit more soil. And I'll prune up these branches a little bit too. But I didn't want to do any pruning just yet. All right, I'll water this. And we'll move on to the next one. Japanese holly. It's still raining. Here's my little boxwood in its new bonsai shoes. I used the old soil, it was fine, down at the bottom, and I put new soil up on top. I'm not going to baby these pots. It's a little too early to put them outside now. I don't even want to exit this greenhouse. But they'll be outside all summer. Okay, the little boxwood from a cutting. The roots are beautiful. Let's see where this one goes. All right, these eastern red cedars have a long way to go. The first pruning will be pretty severe. I got to get some stones on here. I have these decorative ones that I don't love. They're kind of slippery, but they do the trick. Some heavy ones. Mostly I want to keep these from backing up. Something in the middle. Still raining. My wife asked me if I had boots on, which I do. This is a lake forming around my greenhouse here. So me and Lukey are on the ark. We're about to float away. All right. So that's it for the test, for the first test of my 3D printed pots from Treeigami. I got 3 planted up. I'll plant everything up before spring is over, and we'll get them on the bench and we'll start reviewing them. Thank you, Andy, for the gifts. Treeigami.com. I'll tell you if I like them or not, or you can tell me if you like them just from what I showed you.